All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out the Rich CELENZA show. So I'm going to kind of jump back to trying to help men, trying to find the woman or women of their dreams, even if they've been through a bad breakup or divorce. I know my podcast sometimes flip-flops all over the place regarding my confidence program, or then me talking about it could be travel, and then the next thing you know, it's fitness, and then the next thing you know, it's going to be like something like I'm going to talk about today, dating. And I'm just all over the place. It's hard for me not to be. I don't know how else to explain it. I cannot be somebody who just talks about one thing over and over and over again. And, that's just the way I live my life. You want to talk sports, I'm down with you. I'm not somebody who's going to talk most likely politics or religion with you, but everything else I'll kind of talk about, to be honest with you. And it's what's on my mind, and that's the podcast I wanted to create. I wasn't going to just do a podcast on how to help men find the woman or women of their dreams. I wasn't going to do just a podcast on fitness. I wasn't going to do one on just restaurants or travel or wardrobe. This is kind of the avenue I've taken, and I kind of like this avenue. I don't know if people listening to it are like, oh shit, now we're on this or that. I never know what to get. Hopefully you can understand by my titles what I'm going to be talking about. But what I want to talk about quickly today is, dating again with men and being creative. I talk a lot about this on my Mastering Self-Confidence program. And what I want to talk about in this, which is a little different, is it's not really a real different. It's a little different because I'm always telling men to try to do something interesting when going out with women. I don't know if it's a date or just meeting up, doing something maybe you've never done before. Also, maybe something she's never done before, or whoever you're dating. I don't know if you're straight, gay, or whatever the hell it is. It's none of my business. But when going out, finding things that are unique and fun to do, not becoming an interrogation where all you do is sit across from one another and question each other to death about the history of your life and your goals, your dreams, a lot of bullshit. I call it performing. What I kind of want to get into today is back to having fun, but also finding things that not everybody else is kind of doing either. And I ran across a few of these. I talk about one of them actually in my book, Wingman. Not a podcast. Maybe. I don't know. I've done hundreds of podcasts now. I don't even know what the hell I've talked about at this point. But one of them was, I talk about, is you're going out to these wine and you paint and you draw. And you can draw, I think, a painting of whatever you want. Or you could draw one another. But it's a cool thing. God, they just opened one of those I just saw at, I think it was Florida Mall now has one. It used to be in Altamont Mall. Something wine. God, I forgot the name. What an asshole. Whatever, there's just too many things on my brain. And you go there and they have wine tastings, or you could just have wine and you do art, right? And if you're not into that, I get that too. I just think it's a really clever, fun thing to do. I've never even done this. I got to do this. I don't know what I'm talking about, actually. I think I've mentioned it before to my girlfriend, Rhea, and she kind of rolled her eyes, but I did once buy a cool gift there. It's a big shoe on a high heel, and you could slip wine in there. So I brought a gift there, and she kind of liked it. If you're walking through the mall, they have two, wine slushies, and you can drink, that place is cool, too. Wickedy Wine or Wicked Wench? Gosh. Anyways, throw that aside. So yesterday I went for burgers at this place called Teak. It's kind of very well known in Orlando, Florida. I presume there's other ones all over the place, but these are, I only know of a couple. One in Orlando by me in Metro West, one in Winter Park by my daughters on Orlando Avenue. And they have really good burgers, wings. They even have a specialty menu if you ask for it for burgers. But we went there, and it was trivia night. And I was sitting across from my girlfriend, and I can't believe I never did this with her before. And she was getting super excited because she loves trivia. I was like, oh, my God. Why? I've seen this throughout my entire life, trivia. And I've never asked her to do it. And what's interesting, a lot of times when I travel, especially it seems like more on the East Coast, I should say, in the Midwest for me, you go into a lot of bars, taverns, lounges, and on certain nights, they have trivia night, and they don't want you to cheat. You can't look at your phone, but they'll do different sections, they'll do, 10 questions on this, maybe 10 questions on this, 10 questions here, and then whoever gets the best answers gets a discount on their tab or can win prizes. It's really cool. And, that was something, if you're, again, looking to go out on a date with a girl or somewhere, kind of researching and finding out, doing something like that as well. I think that's a really great place to start to kind of learn about one another, kind of your intelligence level, or you're just, you're what you know, even if it's just nonsense, I guess you could say as well, and just something to riff off of and have some fun with throughout the night. Eating, trivia, talking. Because I think, I will wrap it up with this because I don't want these to be too long anymore, these podcasts. I think when we're going out with, on a date for the first time, I should say, or meeting up with women, I talk a lot about performing. But if you can get into an environment where you're both really genuinely comfortable where you're at, but doing something that you've never done before and something that's very interesting, and having interesting conversations is a game changer. And I don't think a lot of men especially realize this. I've been doing these Instagram reels where I kind of come out blasting 15, 30 seconds talking about how men really need to learn how to have better conversations with women when first meeting them. Because one of the reasons they're getting thrown in the friend zone is because they're not that interesting to be around. It's not always the way you look. A lot of guys, I think, man, I don't look good, and that's why women don't like me. Or I'm overweight and this is why they don't like me. Or I'm not rich. I'm not famous. I'm not all these things. The truth is, a lot of what you're probably blowing is your conversations. And also, what you're blowing is not keeping the woman's interest. So, I just wanted to do a podcast on this because, guys, you got to realize out there, if you're not interesting, why would they take an interest in you? You got to understand, most women can have, the pick of the litter. Most women, I'm just telling you, I'm not saying they can walk in a bar and every guy loves them, but I can assure you a lot of women can get a lot of men. For them to pick you or take an interest in you, you're going to have to stand out and be unique and be a little clever and be smart and be intelligent, I think, to a certain degree. That doesn't mean you have to be a brainiac or some scholar. What I'm saying is you've got to have something to offer besides just looks, let's say, or a body, or maybe even a job. You have to understand that your relationship is going to be geared around conversations. And I don't think a lot of men, especially young men, realize this. All right. You want to know more about who I am? MasteringSelfConfidence.com. That's where I try to help men find the woman or women of their dreams, even if they've been through a bad breakup or divorce. The book I was talking about was Wingman, and that's a must-have guide to try to help men find the woman of their dreams. But I'm at CELENZA.com. And you got any questions or comments, hit me up. And believe me, I do not have all the answers. I'm just giving you my opinion. But guys, I'm just telling you, get your head out of your ass. Start doing some interesting things that nobody else may be doing. Anyone could go to a movie. Anybody could go to a bar, a lounge, a restaurant. I don't care if it's fine dining. If the woman's attractive, I could assure you she has been wined and dined in her life. What she's going to be thinking about when meeting you is, what are we going to talk about? What do we kind of have in common? What do we not? What can I learn from this person? What does this dude have to offer that not everybody else has to offer? So, just something to think about. Take care.